Welcome to this week's episode of the Science Alliance. My name is Neil Elm.
And I'm Grant Gunderson.
I'm Brandon McKindred.
And I'm Zachary Wright. We would like to give a quick thanks to this week's sponsors, North Dakota State University Department of Biological Sciences and the Dollar Shave Club. Shave money, shave time.
This week, we will be discussing longevity, sometimes referred to as lifespan. New research has shown that longevity can be increased up to 60% in Caenorhabditis elegans, which is a species of roundworm. The researchers studied two autophagy genes, PHA4 and BEC1, that are related to aging processes. So, we are going to talk a little bit about this study and other related studies, but more importantly, the implications that this could have on us if we are able to apply this research to humans.
So, let's talk more about these new discoveries.
Well, a scientist by the name of Thomas Wilhelm and his research team hypothesized that if genes that reduce fitness when inhibited in young worms would increase fitness if inhibited in adult worms.
Wilhelm and his team used an RNA interference screen to examine genes that mediate longevity post-reproductively. Through a series of imaging and assays, they discovered 30 new genes that regulate longevity. PHA4, one of the genes that was identified, was discovered to be an important player in autophagy and lifespan extension.
Grant, can you tell us a little more about some other research that's out there on this topic?
Other research has investigated the role of autophagy in tumor suppression. This is really important because cancer obviously has an effect on longevity. A lot of other research that has been conducted has been linked to PHA4. It seems like PHA4 and a related gene, BEC1, are both very important regulators of longevity. Another interesting thing worth noting is that a large portion of the research on longevity has used C. elegans as a model organism. It'd be interesting to see how synonymous genes in more complex organisms, like humans per se, would affect longevity.
Oh, what's that?
All right, guys, looks like we got our first caller on the line. Hello, you're on with the Science Alliance.
Hello, yes, I have some questions. This research sounds fascinating, but if we are able to extend human lifespan by 60%, what effect will this have on civilization worldwide in terms of our resources?
That's a good question, and we're actually headed into that topic next. If we are able to extend human lifespan by 60%, we would be looking at an average lifespan extension of 45 years. So if everyone lives that much longer, where are we going to get food to feed all these people? And what about healthcare for them? And where are they going to live?
That's a good point, Neil. Years ago, not much was known about age-related diseases because people didn't live long enough to acquire them. If we start having people live to be 120 years old, development of diseases, especially neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's or Alzheimer's, might become a serious problem. We've never had large populations living that long, so there's a chance that we could see development of diseases that have never been diagnosed. And if people are living that long, we likely see extreme population spikes because the balance of birth rates and death rates would be thrown off.
Zach, you make a really good point. This would also have quite an effect on so many other species. A growing human population means more space would need to be cleared for development because people are going to need somewhere to live. Development is already a growing issue because more land we take for living means more land disappearing from animal populations.
And in terms of other resources like food, how are we going to be feeding all of these people? The discussion on GMOs is already a hot topic. With a growing population of humans living much longer, it's only going to become a bigger issue. One way or another, we are going to need to find a sustainable way to feed the population.
It's interesting how a seemingly harmless thing, like extending an individual's lifespan, may have such a large impact on the world as we know it.
Do you guys hear something?
All right, guys, looks like we got another caller on the line. Hello, you're on with the Science Alliance.
Hello, I was wondering what would happen to humans physiologically. By age 60, most humans are showing signs of aging, but if you inhibit genes that cause aging, what is going to happen to their bodies? This particular study found some evidence to support the idea that by knocking out autophagy genes after reproduction, you would be greatly extending your peak physical years. So ideally at 60, you would be about 35 still.
Well, that's just what his team found anyway, But in order to better understand how that would work, more research is still going to need to be done.
Well, everyone, we would like to thank you for tuning into this week of the Science Alliance.
I hope you all enjoyed today's discussion on longevity. Next week, we will be discussing a new trending topic.
Yeah, next week we're going to be talking about synthetic DNA and the potential effects that we could see coming along with that.
And as always, we want to thank this week's sponsors, North Dakota State University, Department of Biological Sciences, and the Dollar Shave Club. Shave money, shave